Why is no one talking about times when Faker played like shit? Don't get me wrong, he is one of the greatest players ever to play the game. However, even the greatest of all time has had a few bad games. Today, we will show you 5 times when Faker played like shit. The last one will surprise you. So let's get started. Number 5. Despite being a legendary player during the LCK Summer Playoffs in 2016 against KT Rolster, the reason for losing the game was the Faker uncharacteristically aggressive play style, which led to unnecessary deaths. In particular, during Game 3 of the series, Faker decision-making was questionable when he overextended multiple times, getting caught out by KT Rolster team. These errors gave KT Rolster significant advantages, allowing them to capitalize on SKT's weakened state and gain control of the game. Another major problem was Faker champion selection like Karma, Cassiopeia, and Lissandra, and his performance on these champions. In crucial moments, Faker was unable to effectively utilize his picks to their full potential. However, Faker struggled to make impactful plays, missing key abilities, and failing to secure kills when needed. His inability to dominate the mid lane, a role that usually serves as the cornerstone of SKT's strategy, meant that KT Rolster could apply pressure elsewhere on the map without fearing retaliation from SKT's most famous player. Moreover, Faker's lack of synergy with his team during this series was evident. There were several instances where his communication and coordination with his teammates seemed off. There were also misalignments during team fights where Faker would engage or use his abilities without the support of his team, resulting in disjointed efforts that KT Rolster easily exploited. This lack of cohesion was a stark contrast to SKT's usual well-oiled team play, highlighting how even small missteps by a key player like Faker can have significant repercussions. Number 4. What makes a big sports match truly special? Is it the excitement when two teams have a close game? Or perhaps it's because they've worked hard to get there? This was the same situation in 2017 during the League of Legends World Championship between Samsung Galaxy and SK Telecom T1. It was the biggest match after weeks of tough competition, and both teams truly wanted to win. Samsung Galaxy came out strong right from the start, but as you know, the SKT1 got Faker the Fiercer. From the first game, Samsung Galaxy was on fire. Their jungler, Ambition, made great plays, and their star mid laner, Crown, dominated the mid lane. Despite Faker's best efforts, Crown racked up more kills and led his team with perfect coordination and smart strategies. Galio also couldn't exert enough pressure to offset the advantages gained by SSG in other lanes. Samsung Galaxy crushed SK Telecom T1, winning the game in just over 35 minutes. The second game saw Faker and SK Telecom T1 fighting hard to make a comeback. Faker's leadership and experience shone through as he tried to rally his team. However, Samsung Galaxy's top laner, QV, displayed incredible skill, challenging SKT's top player, Huni, at every turn. Fakers kept getting attacked by SSG's jungler, Ambition, which made it hard for him to help his team around the map. Faker orchestrated several team fights, but Samsung Galaxy's superior execution kept them ahead. Despite Faker's tactical acumen, the game ended in 32 minutes, with Samsung Galaxy taking a 2-0 lead in the series. Facing a must-win situation in the third game, Faker was frustrated, but he gave it his all. He knew SK Telecom T1 needed his unparalleled gameplay to stay in the fight. Faker struggled to make strategic plays throughout the game and effectively coordinate his team to counter Samsung Galaxy's relentless assault. Samsung Galaxy's ADC, the Ruler, dealt massive damage in team fights, overpowering SKT's defenses. In just over 30 minutes, they won the third game, securing their second championship with a clean sweep. This victory was especially meaningful for Faker because he didn't win another world championship until 2023. Number 3. Do you remember the 2018 LCK Summer Split? One of the key highlights was the fierce competition among the top teams, including KT Rolster. We all know Faker for his exceptional mechanical skill and game sense, but what he did against KT Rolster in that tournament was shocking and ultimately led to SKT's defeat. In this match, he chose to play a more aggressive champion, Vladimir, which required precise execution and flawless coordination with his team. However, Faker also made several costly errors, including overextending during laning phases and team fights. These mistakes resulted in him being frequently caught out of position and consequently giving away kills to the opposing team. Each time Faker was taken down, it not only handed gold and experience advantages to KT Rolster, but also left SKT vulnerable in subsequent team fights and objectives, such as Dragons and Baron Nashor, which are crucial for controlling the pace of the game. Additionally, Faker's usually impeccable synergy with his team seemed off during this critical match. There were several instances where Faker's aggressive plays were not backed up by his teammates, leading to disjointed engagements and missed opportunities. Faker's aggressive play style, which had been a cornerstone of his success in previous seasons, backfired due to the lack of synchronization with his team's overall strategy and play style during this split. Do you think Faker's aggressive champion choice was the main reason behind SKT's defeat, or were there other factors at play? Let us know in the comment section. Number 2. The intense showdown against G2 Esports at the 2019 League of Legends World Championship semi-finals was marked as another disappointing performance from Faker. This defeat was particularly disheartening as it highlighted several pivotal mistakes and missed opportunities by Faker, which ultimately contributed to SKT's inability to advance to the finals. One of the key moments occurred during a decisive team fight around Baron Nashor. Faker attempted to make a play, flashing forward to try and secure a crucial pick for his team. However, his flash was ineffective, and he failed to land the critical crowd control needed to turn the tide of the battle. This misplay was compounded by the fact that his team was not in a position to follow up on his initiation, leaving him overextended and vulnerable. Consequently, Faker was caught out and killed, which allowed G2 to secure the Baron and gain a significant advantage. The frustration was palpable as Faker realized the gravity of his missteps. His hands were visibly shaking, a rare display of nerves from the usually composed player. This moment underscored the immense pressure he was under and the high stakes of the match. The frustration was not only personal, but also a reflection of the team's dire situation. Adding to the complexity of the match was the presence of Ornn on G2's side. Ornn, with his ability to upgrade items for his teammates, provided a substantial power spike, giving G2 approximately 3,000 gold worth of additional stats. This advantage made G2 even more formidable in the late game, further tilting the scales in their favor during crucial fights. In another encounter, SKT tried to engage G2 once again, but the execution faltered. Khan, SKT's top laner, and Faker both used their ultimates, yet the coordination was off. G2 managed to outplay the engagement, turning the fight around and forcing SKT to retreat. Faker's attempts to re-engage were in vain as his escape options were limited, and he found himself isolated and taken down. This sequence of events was emblematic of SKT's struggles throughout the series. The final moments of the match saw G2 pushing their advantage, capitalizing on every misstep by SKT. Despite SKT's efforts to defend, the team fights consistently swung in G2's favor, largely due to better coordination and execution. The culmination of these factors led to G2 securing their place in the finals, marking a historic achievement for the European League of Legends. Faker's mistakes in these crucial moments were uncharacteristic and highlighted the intense pressure of the World Championship stage. His inability to execute key plays and the overall superior strategy and performance of G2 led to SKT's downfall. Number 1. During the MSI 2024 tournament, Faker had some really exciting and unpredictable matches, just like a roller coaster ride. First, T1 played against G2 Esports and won after a really close fight with a score of 3-2, but Faker's performance was up and down. But in the first game, he played as Azir and did amazing, getting 8 kills, only dying 4 times and helping with 7 kills. Then, on Taliyah, another champion, he struggled again, getting 2 kills, dying 6 times and helping with 2 kills. After that, they faced Bilibili Gaming and, unfortunately, lost with a score of 1-3. Faker didn't do very well in those matches either. He played as Viger, Ikali, and Corki, but couldn't perform as well as expected. Then, they played against Team Liquid and won with a score of 3-1. Faker did great in the first game as Talia, getting 4 kills, dying once, and helping with 5 kills. Even though he didn't do so well in the second game as Orianna, he bounced back in the third game as Ari, getting 5 kills, dying 3 times, and helping with 6 kills. Then, in a rematch against G2 Esports, T1 won all 3 games. Faker played really well in each game, especially as Talia, Orianna, and Azir. But luck wasn't on T1's side when they faced Bilibili Gaming again and lost 2-3. Faker struggled once more. Despite his efforts, T1 couldn't secure the win. It is the biggest and most recent event where Faker did not perform as expected. Many wonder if his wrist injury might be flaring up. That's why his games are not going well, though no one knows for sure. Despite some occasional poor performances, League of Legends history is indisputable. Now, as the first inductee into the Hall of Legends, Faker's contributions to the game are being officially recognized and celebrated. How do you think Faker's performance at MSI 2024 compares to his peak performances in previous years? Share your thoughts in the comments section.
Made it in a sense, a feel of discontent.